you're on fucking Easy Street and you get kicked in the fucking face.
In the next bubble screen over here, let's throw curls.
What are the whys, right? What are the whys?
Bears Hour Live.
The Tape Never Lies Network, home of the greatest Chicago Bears fans on earth.
The following show is for mature audiences only.
The Tape Never Lies Network.
The Tape Never Lies.
Tape never lies.
Starts now.
The tape never lies.
32 is the identity.
We were kind of stuck in neutral, and I thought it was a good idea to hand the play calling over to Bill Lazor.
Loses the football. Strip sack and a take.
Bears our life. Bears our life. We go on live right after Bears games with your boys draft off in the smartest man alive. Yo. Bears our life. Bears our life. We go on live right after Bears games with your boys Trap Talk and the smartest man alive. Ran up with the true analysis you expect. Raw passion for the show. Bear fans get locked in with real emotion and passion for every play. Coach Phil gonna bring that range, but in with facts by shade. Post game show like nothing else you're gonna hear. Some can try to copy, but a bucket's not sincere. Delivering the truth on what just happened, to be clear. That's why we're on TV, so you can see it, not just hear. Hey, yo, with Draft Dr. Phil, you know it's always hit sticks. Splitting double teams like 96 Hakeem hits. You can tell the shit matters. Their love can be felt. Critical of Nagy cause the talent he's been dealt. As our life keeps growing, Shane's all knowing. Delivering the truth on how the QB's throwing. Dimes on time, just lacking fundamental. Whatever the case, we get hot like Cecil. Fiery discussions on what happened in the game. This ain't your daddy's postgame, so expect the fucking flame. Not for the average fan, all off they can't survive.
But don't you worry.
Bears Hour Live.
Bears our life. Bears our life. We go on live right after Bears
I don't think we're that much.
The myth, the red legend, Dr. Phil Ototion.
Because teams realize, hey, we gotta stop Matt.
When you put that much into it, you don't let that. And the guy next to you said, "You son of a bitch, you better block." That's what happens. That's when you have a real good team.
And let's get it on.
This is Bears Hour Live.
Give me some fucking names. Give this kid 2 fucking games. Give me some fucking names. Yeah. Merry Christmas, Bears fans. It's over. How excited are we, right? Man. This second half of this game perfectly encompasses the fucking clown show, the circus that we've been dealing with. Yeah, I couldn't have said it better myself, but it's going to be interesting. I want to see the mannerisms that this jackass Matt Nagy handles himself with during the presser, because I have a feeling he's going to get out there and be, pressure is off, joking around, no stress, but pass it on fourth and one again, asshole. I mean, what are we fucking doing here? It's a clown show. And do you guys have confidence that the Bears are going to figure this out? I don't. It's waning by the day, but we'll see. We're going to have it all covered for you guys here. Welcome to BHL. We're going to have the Nagy presser coming up here shortly. So I'm going to turn it over to DDP. We'll get things rolling. And here's DDP and his rant.
Oh, boy. Oh, boy. NFL, not for long, for a reason. Listen, we've been touting this drum and banging it, doing whatever we can to get rid of the shoe salesman. It has been a travesty. And to Shane's point, the second half embodies, this whole game embodies the complete, utter confusion, overwhelmed ability to be a head football coach with a plan. The team is a reflection of the fucking head coach. I've said it so many fucking times. I'm infuriated and embarrassed and completely agitated. There's so many agitated, angry issues that I have. Because this is the representation of what you've put out there. And before you defend Ryan Pace, he's the one who doubled down in collaboration, believing in a guy that he should know doesn't understand it. Football is a game of blocking and tackling. 4th and 1, situational football. I've called this guy a fucking clown for years. Today is the perfect showcase. In a game you're winning 17-3, was it at one point? And it's 4th and 1. You can't figure it out. Andy Dalton's knee hit the ground. Andy Dalton shouldn't even be starting. Did Jason Peters get hurt and that forced Jenkins out there? These are coaching showcases of negligence. So back to Andy Dalton's knee on the ground. Let's throw the ball again and take a sack. It's 4th and 1. David Montgomery's face on the sideline is a showcase of a shoe salesman. Imagine the football team looking around. Aqib Talib understands it more than the head coach. More than the head coach. They had a great week of practice. Great week. Andy Dalton has no future here. But he's starting out there, not Nick Foles, who you traded for, to be your guy. QB competition with him and Mitch. Remember that? I do. Justin Fields falls in your lap. No QB competition. He's not my guy. I'm Matt Nagy. Hire at McDonald's this week. We need someone on the fryer. This is embarrassment of you can't even be this dumb. I can't even comprehend a coach being this dumb. But he does it every week. He surprises you. He surprises you in stupidity. I don't know who's dumber, him or Hub Arkish. What the fuck is this media doing? I will call each one of them out if you don't fucking bury this fucking guy. What are you doing? It's the Chicago Bears. The Chicago Bears. You look like the fucking Paddington Bears. This Ted Phillips and George and Virginia and all of this fucking bullshit. Stay in your lane. Make your money over there and get someone in here. Get Pace the fuck out of here. Clean it up. Clean it up. TTNL, go back and look at this shit. Give me every pick from every GM from the 4th round down. Everybody's got medals of honor on them. Well, we found this guy. We found this guy. Do you get the quarterback right? Do you get the coach right? Not only did you get it wrong, you let some fucking guy with a wig tell you to hire Fox. Have some fucking balls and say, I hire. You hired me. I hired the coach. They don't do that, right? Okay, Ted and George, let's go with John. Turns out to be a fucking mistake. Hey, Ted and George, I really like this kid from North Carolina. He drives a Camry. Mistake. I love this guy, Lennon. He looks like a fucking giraffe. He can play, I'm telling you. 18 million! 18! You can't pay Harbaugh 15 to fix this? You're going to keep going down this train? Let's find someone. Let's outsmart everybody. Get this guy from the Arena League. He used to be a realtor. He knows how to fucking make points in a fucking contract, but not in the game. He can get you points. He'll fuck you over on a fucking house. That's how he makes points. In a mortgage. Not in the field. I saw a funny meme. It's the only thing that made me laugh today. It's a fucking Chicago Bears bedroom set. Right? It says, I just bought this. Now I can't score in my fucking own bedroom. That's the reality. It's a joke. This kid's the best top 2 back in the league right here. And he's on the fucking sideline on 4th and 1. Empty. Let's fool them all, George. Let's fool them all. Let's run Darnell. Let's run her. Let's Damian Williams will do it. Oh my God. This is the exclamation point of why the pussification of the Chicago Bears needs to end now. You can't handle my truth. You can't handle me. You can't handle Olin. You can't handle anybody because mommy's mad. Mommy's mad now, guys. Yup. Get that clip. Mommy's fucking mad. She should be firing her son, Ted, everybody to get this right. Allowing this to go on after the Cleveland game is on pace. You go into that room, get rid of it. We made a mistake. Own it. Have some fucking balls. You don't have any balls. You got nothing but an embarrassment joke of a franchise because of you. And I'm telling you right now, this team has enough talent to win and be in contention. Contention.
She agrees with the decisions that we've made. She's pissed off.
Fuck out of here, Ted.
She's pissed off, Ted. She's pissed off, Ted. Are you pissed off, Ted? Are you going to collaborate? You going to give the fans some bullshit-ass, snobby-nosed, white prick, you fuck? You going to talk down to everybody? Is that what you're going to do? This snobby, lily white bullshit? You live in fucking Lake Forest? We're going to do something different. Do something right. Put the football first. Stop with the politics. Put the performance over it. Nagy should have been fired last year. The year before that. The year before. You could see it when you know what the tape is showing. But PFF blog boys and Robert Schmitz, they're going to tell you. They're going to tell you different. Kyle, exactly, Facebook user. Where's Kyle Brandt? Kyle, you afraid to come on with me? Because you're wrong again. This isn't about clicks. It's about years of fucking supporting this team. Supporting this fucking team. Supporting this team. Wearing their colors. Wearing everything. To see them neglect Robert Quinn, David Montgomery, Darnell Mooney by putting shit on the field. Shit play calls. Shit game plans. Stupidity after stupidity. I told my wife, I'm going to go fucking ape shit today. I can't take this no more. You're going to speculate? Hub Arkish, Shane's just fucking lighting me up like a fucking bomb. Like the fucking coyote in Roadrunner. Sending me Hubs. I really had, maybe there was a chance for Matt Nagy. But then today on that 3rd and 7, those 4th and... What? Today changed your opinion on Matt Nagy? Come on! Are we watching tape? Are we asking tough questions when this fucking bald fuck comes out here? Are you going to say, hey, Matt, what do you think? What do you think you're going to do? You're a good source. Ryan Pace, gone. Nagy, gone. Ted, gone. Play over there. Don't tell me that you're not involved in football operations or decisions when you're hiring the football fucking guy. This is like that movie. Look Up. Have you seen it? Because it's a showcase of this fucking disgraceful world that we live in right now. It's so fucking true. It's right in front of your face on the tape. We show it to you, truthfully. This is why this happened. Look there. Once you finally see it, you're like, holy shit. Holy shit, you're right. Imagine watching tape. They don't block this. They don't block that. They can't do this. They can't do that. They can't tackle. They can't cover. Eddie Jackson's the second highest paid safety in the league. He looks like a fucking lost fucking deer. Don't want to tackle. Don't want to be physical. This franchise is going nowhere because the leadership has no accountability. So finally we get a quote that George is supposedly looking for a leader of men. Because Matt Nagy isn't. They all love him. You heard him on the broadcast, right, Shay? They all love him. They're really playing for him. Did they play for him? Because I'm watching a team that's losing. I'm watching a fucking bunch of losers. The team is a reflection of the head coach. The head coach that's been 8-8, 8-9, 8-9. And what is he now? 6-11? This is a fucking showcase of stupidity on every level. When you care enough, when you care like we care, George, Virginia, we know you got money. We know all of your grandchildren's are covered. We don't have that. Cherie don't have that. Angel don't have that. John, Mike, Jane, Caden, all the way down the line. My son Tate don't have that. We don't have that security of money. We have a team we're trying to root for with a fucking ownership that's neglecting you, the fan, by doing what's right. We've asked you, stop buying their shit. Go to TTNL, become a patron, subscribe to that, see the truth. So you're not stupidly led by some fucking blog boy, Andy Danahy, on fucking Twitter trying to manipulate a Nagy excuse. There is no excuse for losers. Losers lose. We saw it before. We see it again. From Tressman, Geron, Wanstead. How many do we got to go through? How many? Until you get it right by getting someone that's going to say, I don't agree with you, George. This is a pussification of the Bears. We need people in here that are going to be tough. They're going to fight for every inch. We're going to learn the rules. We're going to play by the rules, but we're going to play hard, fast, and intelligent. That doesn't happen. There's going to be accountability. You're late, you're fined. Get the fuck out. You don't tackle, you preach, it doesn't matter. Anyone can tackle, you're out. Bench. Tackle the fucking water jug. Until you decide that the team comes first, you don't play here. The coach is the most important in professional football. No doubt. Recruiting in college can make every team win. But in the NFL, everybody's good. There's a 10% rule. That 10% comes from that coach. Does he motivate these guys? Does he hold them accountable? Does he game plan? Does he preach, teach fundamentals over and over till they hate you? They don't love you. They learn to love you because you made them better, just like your own kid. It's the same thing. Don't give me the shit that they love to play for this guy. Anybody loves a player's coach that doesn't give a fuck. You know who I love to play for? Winners. Matt Nagy, Ryan Pace are not winners. Anybody that wins the offseason and never the regular season is not a winner. That's my rant. Jesus Christ. Fucking tired of this shit. Life lessons.
Yeah. Well,
guys,
it should be about packing your fucking luggage.
With women, make sure you protect yourself. There's life lesson 1, Caden. Life lesson 2, guys. Make sure you watch on the mortgage that there's no points that the realtor's trying to sneak in on you. I've done that before. Life lesson number 2, Caden. Does this woman have a good job? Life lesson number 3. Fucking life lessons. Guys, I'm going to leave you with this.
Yeah.
McDonald's is hiring. Oh my God. I am sweating and I am fuming at this situation. You can't fuck this up. It's got to be a clean
Phil,
house.
they honestly, as bad as hard as that was to watch, that was the way that this staff deserved to go out.
Oh, I said it to Tate because
100%.
Shane Tate had that breakdown when Andy throws the pick 6.
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing? And he's, a little kid kicking his feet. I go, this is what this shoe salesman deserves, Tate. I know you don't understand it yet, but this is the culture that this man has built, that as this organization has tried to sell. Think about it. I mean, I got to give you props. You've given this fan base such a historical look back with us covering and calling it out on this network. And when you brought that 2007 and you brought the clip in my rant, she's pissed off.
Yeah.
She's pissed off. I'm pissed off. Fucking Matt Byers pissed. DeLeon Wheeler's pissed off. Jerry Owens is pissed off. Imagine playing pissed off. It's like my father said. I remember the Chicago Bears going into every game. You knew that you were going to get down and dirty. They were going to play their asses off. Right? 4th and 1 shotgun is not Chicago Bear football. It didn't happen once. It didn't happen twice. It didn't happen 3 times. It happened 4 times. You're in gun on 4th and 1. The one time you decide to run for it, Cherie, they got it. David Montgomery for 2. First down. Nope. We're not going to set our fucking selves up here. We're up 17-3. Let's get cute. This is a fucking bum-ass coach. And they did this to us. They did this to us by having that fucking press conference, and we hated them more. The collaboration one that we've played here many a time. Collaborate. They did it 15 times in their press conference, these fucking clowns right there. All of them. All 4 of them. George has got to stay. Ted does not. Ted is involved in football decisions, guys. That's a huge problem. George tries to skip over. He tried to skip over it with Sylvie asking him last year. He tried to skip over it again on the fucking score. They tried to pay Olin Cruz $15 an hour. This is an organization run by cowards. Cowards. Yeah, I don't want Bruce Arians in here. He's gonna call us out. We can't have another Ditka in here saying the McCaskies throw around fucking nickels like manhole covers. We can't have that. I honestly blacked out in my I just fucking exploded, Shane. I don't even know.
I get it, man.
I just can't fathom Pace's get off. I just can't. I can't.
It's not Ryan Pace, Phil. It goes up above that, and it's 100% ownership, and they I don't know, man. We'll see.
We have to imagine
Matt Nagy is 100% gone. That's not official, but I mean we've known that. Now the wild card is what happens with Ryan Pace. If you listen to him pregame, he didn't sound like a guy that was at the end of his rope.
What did he sound like?
He's talking about where they are in the cap and future cap and being set up good that way, and it's just I don't know, man. We'll see. I know Mike was in there saying that his boys in Chicago or insiders or whatever assured him that he's gone. Well,
who Pace?
Yeah, it's a Mike Huff said in there, but I'm just said there's lots of fucking
the Bears blog has gone out.
There's lots of smoke out there saying otherwise too. So, and I'm not putting him
49
on
49 passes.
Yeah. 48. Yeah. crazy.
Dude.
But I see that the Bears are slacking off. They've had Darnell Mooney up there. Now Roquan Smith is up there.
No coach.
Yeah.
No. And you know what? We're measuring the media, guys. Caden, Cherie producing today. All of you guys checking in the chat. All over 1,200 of you listening live. We appreciate you. Truly. I appreciate you, the fan. Even if you don't agree. I want to measure the media here. Where is Ryan Pace? What rock does he crawl under and hide? Why does he have this? I would love to have a job where I didn't get called onto the fire for the things I had to do.
Yeah,
just hide away and have.
But that's the way that this organization has been run forever, Phil.
Here's the question, Shane. I want you to ask me when I.
It's not about. Listen, I even have an issue with. I listen to guys like Lance Briggs and Brian Urlacher and Alex Brown and Olin and all those guys. I love those guys, but they're held to a standard like that was the fucking golden era for the new Chicago Bears fan of Chicago Bears football. And what the fuck? Yeah, they made it. They made a fucking Super Bowl. Great. And they were inept on offense, just like we've seen forever. And guess what? They gave up big plays at inopportune times on defense, just like we deal with today. It's a fucking cycle. That's why everything needs to get fucking flushed down the toilet. Everything. Even the fucking Bears fans let's restore the roar and let's build. We got to have a fucking middle linebacker because that's going to make all the fucking difference in the world. I mean, it's so fucking short-sighted. I don't even know what to say because Bears fans are just as schizophrenic as the fucking ownership group is. I mean, it's nuts. You see one bad play and the fucking fans are turning against the player, and one good play and everybody sign him to a fucking $100 million extension. Let's fucking go.
I'm sure
crazy.
Let's get rid of Mike Borum. Get rid of Borum.
As you can see, we're still waiting for the clown to
show
up
coach
to the circus.
Where's George, the owner? He ain't no Jerry Jones, I'll tell you that. He ain't fighting to fucking say something, to get something done, to do something different. You're going to just hear the empty fucking promise. The stupidity that comes along with this organization trumps anything. I'm about to explode, guys. So if you want to listen to this.
For our team, so that's a good thing coming out of that game. Big picture, just from the game, we weren't.
Imagine having the ball saying, "My last game."
Plus, 35 to the plus
Imagine.
25. You felt.
I felt like just be quiet for the first question. I don't give a fuck what he says right now. I want to hear the first question. Have you been told that you've been fired yet? It's got to be it.
Back by Andy and
who will ask it?
Weren't able to get that play. We took some sacks on fourth down.
We took
Finley
throughout. So
we took some sacks on fourth down.
80 plays like we were moving the football, doing different things, similar to the first time that we played these guys.
80 plays.
Weren't as productive. They have a
trumping his plays.
Defense. I think when you look at the numbers, 20 something attempts on third and fourth down, 1 for 6 on fourth down. You felt that. And that's a credit to them. They did a great job.
Comments. Are you in charge of the comments?
Second half and finish them.
Take care of that.
And you got to give credit to them. The game kind of got away a little bit there towards the end, unfortunately, with the pick 6. So we were, that's.
Why not run, asshole? Why not fucking run?
And just explain to them, hey, listen, this has been a long season, but at the same point in time, the thing that we all need to use.
Let's promote Pace, the guy that fucking and how that doubled down on this asshole. That's smart football.
Did I stay the same? How do
I'm telling you, Ryan knows what he's doing.
Myself better.
I'm telling you,
it's important. These guys care in there. They care in that locker room. We care as coaches, and so
you don't. They care in there
every year to the.
Guess
team.
What? They're pros.
The last 3 years, and
they didn't care. They wouldn't be in the league.
NFL team
right?
Different heading into the the next year.
This guy.
And whether it's players, whether it's coaches. And so individually,
He's still
reflect,
fucking
see where we can
talking.
get better. This isn't where we wanted to be or how we wanted to do it. But use it to get better. So that was kind of our message.
Here we go.
That was our message.
Yeah. Sure. Well, there's a lot of realism to everything.
Let's ask him about the fucking results in the game, Dan. Great.
You're a leader of a team.
I couldn't even hear this
You
dumbass.
go through and you try to create and build a culture like we have here. You
haven't built shit. You haven't built a culture, you asshole.
The highs and lows throughout the year, and we know
what culture did you build? A fucking shack in the fucking woods culture?
Of course, today's game, but right now it's not really. I'll have time here when the season ends to be able to reflect.
There's your culture.
These guys, I think the big picture is understanding that
those are actually 8 and 9, 8 and 9, but they don't do that, right?
Again, trying to always keep this mentality of how do you use this to make yourself better, and even myself as a head coach, how do I make myself better, and then the players do that.
Make yourself better back in KC.
Pack your luggage.
Pack your shit.
Yeah. Sure. No, I think probably for me as a head coach, when you go through this season, you understand that the other.
What are the whys, Matt? Have you figured them out yet?
Stuff that we have, you understand. You have different positions that when you're competing and you're getting young guys to come in and compete.
Facebook user,
you have a coaching staff
fix your shit.
And,
don't tell me what to do.
Thing is just
telling you, you want to listen to this fucking clown? Go to the fucking channel and listen to him. It's not what we do here. Tell him.
Like we did.
Let the chat know. Tell him, chat.
And did you change?
Want to hear his shit answer?
How are you going to get better?
Those
guys, we've done that.
You always look back.
We always look back
what was your record?
because we want to know what our record
Did you win
was.
enough? And did you get into playoffs?
Is that your coach? Is Saban talking like this?
It's 0-0. And
this is the shit that Ryan Pace and Ted Phillips agree on.
I don't have a great answer other than being able to reflect at the end of the year when I think about
reflect as you're going away from Chicago, bro. Take a look in the mirror.
Again, my 4 years that I'm here, I look at a few things. You look at developing players.
You develop
you developed players
that you're part of in the draft process with Ryan and all of our personnel and our coaching and all the time that goes into that. And
have some fucking balls, bro.
And
this is it for me.
A really good first year together at 12
it didn't
and 4, and now we
go the way I'd hoped.
As you build through the draft, you have young guys that are getting
I got to credit that great coach over there, Mike Zimmer.
We have some older guys too on this roster that have been a part of this and just kind of seeing how that rolls. But
where is one fucking tough question?
Players. I really am. I'm proud of the coaches. I think.
They'll write about the tough questions they were going to ask.
They care.
They just won't ask
how much they want to be better. And
let's fucking
that matters.
Let's ask the tough questions.
We understand
in our fucking.
That's real. That's a part of it. But
what is it?
Do the
in
guys
our
care
fucking
do
paper.
Do that.
In our editorial, we'll ask the tough questions to the fans, not to the guy to his face.
Well, there's
once again the Bears organization with the shitty mic.
There's so much when you look at
Matt.
Teams and
what are the whys? Did you ever
figure
figure them out in your 4 years
how they
here?
work together in all three phases.
Matt,
whatever that.
What are you doing on fourth down? Running, not running the ball.
We want to be better offensively.
Why? That's a why.
It hasn't been what we wanted it to be. But
smash the like button.
That's.
If you hate fucking Nagy,
coach, is
smash the like button. There you go. That should motivate you enough.
At position-wise.
Name one player that fucking Matt Nagy developed here. Give me one.
Is okay. I would say
wasn't Mitch.
That we need to be better in the red zone, right? I don't think we were good enough this year in the red zone. So being better there.
When you don't run the ball, you can't be good in the red zone.
Score more points when you get down in the red zone.
This guy couldn't coach a Pop Warner fucking team, but the Bears somehow got him.
Yeah, again, I've never been in this position before, and for me, it's I continue to just.
Where's Matt Nagy's why?
Like normal, and I mean that. I've had conversations as nothing has changed, as I've told you guys a few days ago, and I know this, whatever is supposed to happen will happen. And I'm a positive person. And again,
you're a great
I
source.
I think that it's about these players right now. And these players have fought their
You're a
asses
great
off to
source.
play hard.
Have they told you
sacrifice
you're
their body
fired,
every
Matt?
day, and everything else will take care of itself how it's supposed to.
Remember, I'm not an idiot. I know we need to run the ball. Remember? Forgot it today. Typical. Right, Steve? He forgot it today. Steve Lupino didn't, but Matt Nagy did. Gil Gomez didn't.
No.
Yeah.
You know, it's
great point by Bob. At one point, we had
probably-
8 guys on the
probably for
field.
People that are
He had to blow a
outside the
timeout.
building.
8.
You guys, everybody has a job that they need to do to create stories and to.
We all have a job we
things
need to
write
do.
about, both in a good way and sometimes negatively. You know that's a part of where we're at right now. But
Imagine Andy Dalton.
that's not
second
leaving,
and 8.
That's not changing. It's about how you handle it.
Trips right, double reverse,
True
bubble
reports,
screen,
false reports,
fake,
and again,
shovel
you need to
pass.
be able
Ready?
to create a wall, and I think that's
This
part of the
is
strength
the
of
Matt Nagy
the character of your
fucking
building.
game.
You know, we went through that on Thanksgiving.
Someone,
went
did
through it on
anybody
Thanksgiving,
send me
and,
on the picks,
that's
not
an
the pick
experience for me
six,
that I'll
the
always
tip
be able to
ball,
use and understand
Allen
that
Robinson's
when
effort?
you see guys that pull
Dude.
together and
Oh
play
my
together, when you get through
God.
something like
It
that,
says
it actually
everything
brings
you need to know
closer.
about
That's
Allen
the
Robinson.
Matt Nagy
really what
and
happened.
Allen
And
Robinson.
his
culture.
boy will be in the
They're all
YouTube comments
distractions,
tomorrow, like
and
he
we
has
always
been the
talk
last
about
few
eliminate
weeks.
distractions.
Oh.
Y'all
And I think
don't
the
deserve
players have done
Allen.
a great
No,
job
we
at that. It's
don't.
not easy.
Get him out of here. See ya.
They've done a great
Allen
job.
Robinson, tip ball. You just watch it as the fucking Viking defender runs, sprints. Allen handed pocket. You guys suck at questions. Hey, David Montgomery's right.
You look at the big picture of where we're at, and you know,
Where are you
there's
at?
different seasons, there's different
Last
records,
place?
you build these relationships, and after every year, you can reflect and look into the reasons as to why you got to where you got to and how you get better, and then you do that as from a head coach's perspective. You do it from a coaching
Justin.
perspective. You do it from schematic perspective, and
any kind of chance at David Montgomery,
you know, when I'm
being
the position that I'm
recognized
in right now,
league-wide.
Chicago Bears have a
leader to
full
make sure
team
that I
meeting
continue
scheduled
to
for
stay
9 a.m.
positive with these
tomorrow
guys,
morning at
and,
Hallis Hall.
whatever
The expectation is that Matt
whatever
Nagy
has
and Ryan
happened in
Pace
my
will be
4 years
informed
here,
of their fates
good and
before
bad, there's a reason
before
for
the
all of
meeting.
it. And even
Exit
selfishly
physicals and
individually
player
for
meetings
me,
are at
there's a
9:30.
reason why this is happening right now.
Who's
Adam
When
Johns.
this stuff happens, it again, like I told the guys in there, let this stuff right here refine you, not define you. That's important, right?
Enough with the catchphrases.
And so
I
I'm
mean,
sure you guys have bad
who
days
fucking
every
cares
day
at this
too, right?
point?
You have a bad
I would
day,
be
how do you
unloading
react?
on this
You stay
motherfucker if I was in the
negative, stay
media,
a bad mood for
asking
2 weeks.
you
or
got. This is where you
get
throw
out
your
of it.
fucking haymakers.
And
Exactly.
So, in
He's
this
gone.
position, as a leader,
You don't have
gotta make
anything
sure
to
you
worry
stay
about.
positive. You got to make sure you lead, and then you got to use
Matt,
it to make yourself
your
better.
goal of the
And
curl route.
regardless of what happens,
What was
whether
your
it's with another player,
what was
or
your
myself,
energy there?
I promise
Matt.
you I'm going to do that, and I will let this refine me and not define me.
One more. One fucking more. One more. This fucking clown show.
Well, it's not that. It's the
Matt,
fact
why
that,
didn't you run the
again,
fucking ball?
When you're
That's it.
the
Not
day
one of
that
these
I
fucks asked him that.
signed up to be the head coach here in
Hub could
Chicago,
tweet it out.
right?
Where are you, Hub?
On a year-to-year basis.
You got any
you're always-
fucking
you're
balls
always
now?
understanding
Calling Aaron
what
Rodgers out.
comes with
Call this
the position,
motherfucker
right?
out.
That's real. That's life. And so
After the
the
third time
situation
it
that
didn't
we're in
work,
this year,
you think it's going to work again?
Is one where we know our record's not good enough. We all want to be better. We know that. So this is all stuff that comes attached to it. So you got to deal with it. You can't.
This guy's
run
all of a
from it.
sudden a
You gotta
fucking
be real. You got to talk about it. You
visor
gotta
wearing
understand it.
philosophy.
And then you got to be able to have a
professor.
plan.
That's what he is.
Understanding individually.
Gotta have a
but
plan.
also
No
as a
one's
leader and
taking
a team leader with these
advice
guys.
from
These
you.
guys deserve that. You know, they're
You got to have a
we
plan.
got great players, man. We
got
got
great
people.
players.
We got great coaches. And
You
and
let
I
them
just
all
respect
down.
them too much. And so
It all
sometimes
goes
I'm
through you.
very honest,
Remember,
and
Matt?
I just I talk about that stuff, you know, and I always try to hit every avenue.
We've heard 2 words from you in terms of your partnership with Ryan. It's been collaboration and conviction, right? And assuming that's
Conviction.
Sure.
Collaborating, you guys have had conviction on all the decisions.
Yep.
At least someone's calling him out on collaborating.
What do you think that's gone wrong about those things, even though you had such conviction on those things?
I think it's a
I
very.
don't see it that way as what's
What?
gone wrong. I actually look
It
at
did
as
go wrong, you asshole. Where are you?
with the players that we have in this building right now, and since we've been together, I think we all understand that this isn't something that just happens in 1 or 2 years.
This is the dumbest
answer. It takes a little bit of time to get that player going, and then when you draft a lot of players together, it takes several years.
You're a fucking loser.
Where they're rocking and rolling because they're now 3 or 4 years
rocking
into
and
it,
rolling?
and that's where we're at right now. That's what's exciting.
Takes time, Phil.
Is knowing
Just
that
takes
there's
time.
a nice group
All I
of
can
young
think of is
leaders
KRS-One
on this team right now that are good football players. And so that's probably what you say about the collaboration.
You're a philosopher?
Yes.
Yes.
That has not changed with Ryan and myself.
Yes.
Very
I
first
think
day.
very
And it
deeply.
hasn't changed us as people.
Nagy thinks,
Sometimes
he
adversity can
thinks
strike
deeply
people,
in
but
his
I'm
room
different.
full of play
Ryan's not
sheets.
different. I'm not
He
different.
has never
Much
thought
respect.
the
You
philosophy
do
of
things
what
the right way, and
wins and
I'm
loses.
proud of the way that we've handled all of this.
KRS-One
together, and
himself
the players
would
that
call
we've
a better
talked
game
about,
than you.
selected, our personnel
I
department,
love
our
calling
coaching
plays.
staff,
Big
all
plays
of
are
it.
nice.
There's a good thing going here right now.
This guy's still
And
talking.
There's a really
There's a good thing going here,
quarterback
Shane.
that's here.
Really?
Can be good for a long time.
Really?
And, both Ryan and I were a part of that.
Hand it there. Both Ryan and I are idiots.
Yeah.
Singing bye, bye, Mr. Nagy guy. Your visor sucked.
Sure.
We never knew why.
No, there's a really bright future for our team, and I think that
because you're gone.
When you are gone, maybe
you start getting these
we'll
young guys.
get a
You look at
real
Roquan
guy.
Smith, right? He is only getting better and
Roquan
better.
Smith.
You know,
He's
again,
on
to
the
me,
defense, bro.
with
Who
Ryan, that
have
was,
you
a first
created
draft pick
better
line that
on
I've
the
ever been a
offense?
part of,
James
where
Daniel?
you're there
That's
with
it.
Ryan doing it, and so I'm proud to see him grow. And then you look at a guy like David Montgomery and how he's
Oh, the guy you keep forgetting?
Offensively now with Darnell Mooney.
Show him a picture up. There you go. Show him a picture.
young
That's what he looks like, asshole. Standing next to you on the sideline
You got Justin.
on 4th and 1.
You look at
He's going full
just the way
blown.
that-
He's the dude at the
with
bar
some of these
that
younger guys with
all the
Lamar
hot
and
chicks are
Nichols,
gone,
for
so he's
example,
trying to go
right?
home
Doesn't
with a
get a lot
3.
of
He's
name
doing the
recognition.
Caden Whitlow thing, college
Gibson
thing.
growing
No,
up.
don't do it on
Jalen
Caden.
Johnson.
Don't do it on my boy
And
Caden.
so, you look
Caden
at
ain't going
Eddie
for
Jackson
threes.
being in the middle of his career right now and understanding how he can continue to improve. There's a lot of good stuff.
There's
And
a lot
I
of
like
good
that about
stuff,
these guys. And
man.
the other part of this, Brad, is this.
Hey, did you ever find out the whys,
These
Matt?
players,
That would be the home run question. Right
they're
now,
finally
just
learning how
fucking
to be good
bury his
football
ass.
players.
Did you
But
ever
what's gonna
find
take
out
us
the
over the
why?
top
Why did you
is
suck?
having them learn
Why
how to
is
be
your
great
record
leaders.
what it is? Why
Because
can't we get
championship Super Bowl
Jim
football teams
Harbaugh
have great leaders
over
that are great
you?
football players.
Everything
Because
in
when
your
you hit-
fucking
you hit
power,
a little bit of a snag
Virginia,
and you lose a few,
Ted.
the
You could
players
pay
are the
this
ones who
fucking
get you through
clown
that
boy giraffe
because they're great
18
leaders.
mil.
They're high
You can
character
fix
people
this
that are great
shit
football
with a
players. And
coach
the more of those
that
you
actually
have,
understands
you win
it.
a lot of games, and then you have an
Fuck
opportunity
this
to get in
guy.
advance to win the whole thing. That's what
He
this
might
team
be a
has
great
right now. It's there.
guy. Nice
And
man
that's
and
what
fucking
I'm
great.
selfishly
Grills
proud
a
of
great hot
with
dog
Ryan,
on
of
the
what's here.
barbecue.
And
Other than that,
and then
he's
again,
been a
the
shitty,
excitement of
terrible
Justin at quarterback,
head
because
coach
Justin's
and
gonna
leader
have a
of
very
men.
bright future.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you. Yep.
We got a very
Matt
bright
Nagy
future.
talking to the media.
Oh my God. Anybody defending that clown? Anybody? Is fucking Danny, he's still defending him out there? Probably the only one left on an island of misfit toys.
On Andy Dalton's 1 4th down play, Danny sent out a tweet that said, just a reminder, Matt Nagy isn't the play caller. No,
I'll defend Matt.
He's the head coach, Andrew. I'm not sure if you know how that works, but
I don't know, Shane. If I'm the head coach and I'm fucking not calling plays, but my OC is you don't run the motherfucking ball here, I'm going to fire you. That's the head coach. You fucking try to throw this shit. Who the fuck as a quarterback is ducking and I'm ducking. Yeah, Borum sucked today. His worst game. Don't duck down and fall down like fucking Carrot Top at a fucking magic show. What are you doing? The fuck are you doing? I can't even try to figure out why he was our head coach. Like, think about this. And all of you, I know our guy, Otis Nichols. I love the dude. He's patron number one. We always shout, you can't defend Pace. Where's Greg Braggs? Pace deserves the blame.
Listen, you can Ryan Pace. This is because I've been a Pace defender most of his tenure here, but this is the kill shot. Remove everything that he's done and just look at the fucking quarterback situation.
That's it.
Since 2015.
Since
it. 2015.
That's what I said.
That's
I showed it right to him today.
All you need. That's all you need to know.
You can't miss. You can't miss and miss. And we'll give you a miss and Mitch, right? We'll miss. We'll miss on Mitch. Okay.
Everybody has misses, Phil.
Right?
Everybody does.
You can't pay $18 million to Glennon and miss on Mitch.
No.
Those two things. Then you add the next thing. Nick Foles. Let's not forget this. Mitch and Nick Foles had a quarterback competition. Nick Foles didn't play today. Andy Dalton did. Did Ryan Pace allow that to happen, Shane?
Yeah. Here's a number. Here's some numbers for you. This is from Kevin Kaduk. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but George McCaskey's record since taking over in 2011, 69 wins, 100 losses, 0 wins in the playoffs, 2 losses, 1 division title in 11 years, 3-14 against the Green Bay Packers.
That's it.
And that's the lead dog that's probably going to hire Leslie Frazier as the next head coach of the Chicago Bears. Let that sink in.
And there you go into a land of make-believe. Pace just on top of it.
Sorry, it's 3-19 against the Packers. I said
3-19.
So it's even worse.
Kevin White, Allen Robinson, Shaheen, Jimmy Graham. We've gone down. Then you got to draft Cole Kmet because you missed on Shaheen, and you also signed Jimmy Graham to the big deal. You never invested in quarterbacks like you said you were going to in every draft, trying to find a capable, possible guy that you're developing. You signed Tyler Bray, Matt Barkley, Brian Hoyer, Mark Sanchez, all of these fucking quarterbacks. Glennon, $18 million is terrible. Floyd is just a gimmick player. That's it. He's not anything more. He doesn't
Pittsburgh
play the
Steelers
run.
are going to the playoffs as long as the Raiders and Chargers don't end in a tie tonight. So, I mean,
yeah, I was hoping we'd get.
You think the Pittsburgh Steelers are going to? I mean, it was
If
announced
they
that their
got
GM is
Tomlin
expected to
healthy.
step down after the draft. I just can't. I just don't think it's logical.
There's Jason Leeser's tweet. Did you see him?
No.
This is why, and Ryan Cox, I'm giving credit to sending me this tweet from Jason Leisure. To the end, Jason writes, Matt Nagy was incredibly composed, respectful, and pleasant in press conferences. That doesn't make him a good coach, but it's an impressive as a person, and I respect it. That could not have been easy, especially over the last month and a half. Really? You didn't even ask him the why. You didn't ask him one fucking tough question on his very last day on the job. He's being respectful because he's afraid that you're going to be tough with him unless the Bears have told you if you are tough, we're going to pull your credentials. And I wouldn't put it past any of these Bears. I'm calling Ted, Virginia, George, the media department, the Gestapo Bears. It's an impossible showcase when you look at it from all of this. You can't pretty up a fucking pig. Matt Nagy is way out of his league as a head coach of the Chicago Bears. He never had a head coaching job or experience at it. He wasn't even a play caller. And when he was supposedly given the opportunity, we all knew he forgot Kareem Hunt and the fucking Chiefs lost. This is what you got here. You got a glimpse of something when Vic Fangio's defense got 39 takeaways and was leading the league in red zone defense and giving up points. So when you combine turnovers, you could see that you can win. You win. That's part of winning. You get those things, you might win. There's no consistency in offensive performance. That's why this guy's gone and should have been gone. Ryan Pace collaborated and decided to hang his hat with Matt Nagy. So all of the quarterback stuff is reason A. Justin Fields you lucked into. And that coach that you hung your hat on with didn't have a quarterback competition. Refused. Probably hates Justin Fields. I'm dead serious. I've heard some things that don't sit well with me with Matt Nagy and Justin Fields, but probably didn't want Justin as his quarterback. Doug Farrar said it on the show, right? On Keeping It 100.
Yeah, he did.
So
that was his feeling. He wasn't reporting that.
I've heard from a couple that it feels very much like Nagy wanted another quarterback. So if there is no open competition, Ryan Pace signed up with that guy. You're the GM. What are you fucking talking about? There's no open competition. Run your thing with him. Go ahead. It's upstairs on my end table.
Matt Nagy interviewing for the maid job at the Etosian House already.
It's a travesty on so many levels that this football team is continuing this process of unknowns. We know that Matt is gone. Like, would you be in utter shock? I don't know why we're defending Pace. Pace fucked. He's fucked. He decided this. You decide the code. How many shots do you get? How many shots does a GM get at missing the quarterbacks? Is Justin a sure thing? No. We don't know. But you put this relationship together. It's the most important one, coach and quarterback. If he didn't want this guy, then you fucked your job too. Because if Matt Nagy wanted Mac Jones, you should have went with Mac Jones. You wanted to go with Nagy. Your analysis said Justin. Did it say that? That's a why. That's a fucking why. Listen, each and every time, I always get to the point of breaking down the tape. You guys know who I am. You watch the tape. Draft Dr. Phil's Tape Never Lies on this football channel each and every week. Thousands of you watch it, break it down. This year has been tough because this offense is pathetic. It's disgusting and disgraceful. But that doesn't mean the story ends here. I'm nervous because I don't know if Ryan Pace is going to church with Virginia. And then she's going to do what Carr said and keep Ryan on the job. That's what I'm losing sleep over. What are they going to do tomorrow? I know in my heart they're going to fire Nagy. He's gone. But what are they going to do? Are they going to go all in on Jim Harbaugh and change the culture in a real way of change where accountability, stability, and a plan comes into play? Where running the football is priority one and defining the scheme around the talent that you have, not my scheme, my plays. I love calling plays. I forget Jordan Howard's a good back. I forget David Montgomery's an elite rusher. Not that. Let's not attack the seams with our big tight end. I could go on for days. Forget about how they block fronts and are confused. They went to the trap game finally last week, ran some power game. I broke that down. Where? On our network. So that's where I'm getting to the point. No matter what, this network is going to break down the plays. We're going to break down the play that they decide with the coach. We're going to go live tomorrow, right when the news happens, and break down while the news conference is going, just like we do here. And I'm sure I'll be a hell of a lot more quiet listening, but then reacting to what is going on. We also break down the tape on our patron side and the draft, because the draft mob will be back. If you're a big fan of the draft, this is going to be back.
Now, with the 43rd pick in the 2020 NFL Draft, the Chicago Bears select.
You want to go embarrass yourself with this thing? Embarrass myself, my family, my children.
So become a patron. That's just a tip of the iceberg of what you're going to get. You're going to get live shows, analysis, breakdowns, and each and every week on Saturdays, we do a coaches clinic. We do the free agents. We're going to do the draft. We're going to get the tape to tell us the story. This is what we do on Saturday. So I'm asking you, become a patron, because all off season, we're going to be breaking down the coaches, the GMs. We're going to have guests on, and we're going to be breaking it down like nobody else. Here's what we do on Saturdays. Me, my father, and George Bayless, a.k.a. Bearlissimo, breakdown on X's with the O's.
X's with the O's. DDP. Coach O. Bearlissimo. And they actually figure out the whys.
Yeah, he gets to the races because Daniels actually does a great job.
But they did all that moving around, get the quarterback right into position again. For crying out loud, he's getting fancy. I haven't said it, but Phil said it 100 times. It's all trick plays. A trick with the wrong guy. He'd been better off pulling the ball and him going up the hole.
Never go backwards to get 1 yard. Look at that formation right there. They're consistently in this kind of shit. Where, say you push Allen Robinson way outside that number, put him way out there, and then put someone way down here. All of a sudden, the box gets a little less tight.
But you can tell that the accountability when it comes, no one's calling anybody out on that defense.
Those linebackers have to maintain gap responsibility full speed.
You got to press that thing inside out. So when he oversets here and he gets outside, that step, that right foot step sets him too wide. And now you've turned that defensive end into a two-gap player who can tackle inside or outside your fuck.
Matt Nagy sold himself because he's a good talker. He is a good talker, but what you need as a head coach and a GM is someone who's going to pick the right people and put them in the right places and play to their strengths. And you've also got to be able to, and it's crucial as any leader, is to be able to accept when you make a mistake. Look, I gave him a chance, I gave him an opportunity, I put him here, I gave him this responsibility, I did the tools, I did that to help him to do it. It's clearly not working.
I've never heard someone say, I made a mistake in this hire. And I mean, regardless of if you're not a football person, you still hired someone.
I'm going to tell you something right now. Those coordinators and everybody that's coaching on its staff could be great. If you got a guy up there that's a schmuck, you're not going anywhere. And that's what's happening. And when you get a real leader, he'll hire the guys that are going to do the job.
Get a coach in here that puts a priority on accountability, game planning. I don't see any of this. If I was to assess any coach and they're in shotgun on 4th and 1, fire that coach. It's just so much that you could do from under center that you can't do in shotgun.
Plus, you're not 5 yards away from the line of scrimmage. The Bears culture, for me, all the way back since I was a kid, was the toughest guys there were. These guys are pussies.
Breaking down the key plays, big moments, and take a deeply detailed look back at each week's big play performers.
Oh my God,
Exclusively for TTNL patrons. X's with the O's.
There you go. X's with the O's. Every weekend we do it. You just got to pay attention because sometimes the time has to change. But every weekend we're going to be breaking down tape live, and that includes free agents, live breakdowns, draft choices, live film breakdowns, draft mock drafts. When there's breaking news, Shane.
Yeah, we'll be there.
We are going to go live.
You and I are both off from our
Patreon
regular
site.
jobs tomorrow just for this reason.
Just for this reason. Just for Black Monday. Just hit the like button, subscribe. Shane, some of the things in today's game, or did you have something else to say?
No. I just wanted to say I think it's very important is everybody is on board if you have to pick one person to go. It doesn't make it right, but if you pick one, it's by leaps and bounds the head coach.
Absolutely. But where does that stop?
No,
though?
I get it.
Because he doubled down on it.
I get
it's
it.
Like,
and
hey,
he's part of the process, Phil. He's been part of the process with Matt Nagy. He was part of the process, not quite as much as with John Fox, but the drafting, the overspending in free agency to fill holes that you yourself have created. That's the part of it. And your fuck a cap philosophy. Well, it's if you're going to live and die by that, you have to fucking be able to manage the cap effectively and not just throw buckets full of money at situations where it's not warranted. I mean, who were the Bears bidding against for Mike Lennon? Who?
Nobody.
There was one team that was going to make him a contract offer, and that was Tampa Bay for him to come back and be a backup. I think they're offering him $6 or $7 million. They offered him the ability to be the highest paid backup in the NFL. But that's all part of it.
Well, let me say this. I think we have to do a Ryan Pace show. Just to show. We'll put up the drafts. We'll put up all of the signings. We'll put it into picture and video form.
Well,
so people could see the why on Ryan Pace. We are showing you every week why Nagy needs to go. Like Shane's point, you saw it today. I would say 80% of the chat is TTNL heads that understand the game of football. I've never looked at, is Josiah, does he have a check mark on his name? I don't do that. I look at how they are articulating their thought and their football thought. Not everybody could break down tape. Not everybody understands the game of football. That's fine. That's what we're here for. I have former players reaching out to want to be a part of this network because of what we do differently than anybody else. That means everything to me and Shane. We can say whatever we want, and that is what we wanted to do on this network. That's why the show starts mature audiences only, because I'm telling you, the pussification of the Chicago Bears was a draft Dr. Phil rant 2 years ago. 2 years ago. Under this coach, this administration, you have to understand situational football. Is there a game? I saw someone say exactly what I've said. Is there a game where you step back and were like, Matt Nagy out-coached this fucking team? No. What a great job he did. Not once. I'm sitting there celebrating 2 plays with George in the Seattle Seahawks game that they fucking blocked right for the first time in 3 years.
4.
No, they did block one right in year 1.
3 years ago.
Yeah, first. Yeah, I'm looking at it. Wow, this is the first time in 3 years, Shane, that they blocked this play correctly. Guess what? I don't know. Did Jason Peters get hurt, or did they functionally say, I want someone? Does anybody know?
I think it was part of the plan to get him in at some point.
I'll tell you what, Jenkins did it again, Shane.
But Phil,
I'm watching him. Give me. Oh, I thought of you. Give me some fucking names. He just throws this fucking defensive end from Minnesota down. Then he goes to the next guy. That's the kind of shit I want. That's the kind of shit.
Let's replace him. Let's move him to right tackle. But anyways, you're talking about Ryan Pace, everybody's favorite Bears nerd, Matthew Carstensen, Lord Cars of TTNL Network, has some really good, pertinent tweets out there today talking about the Pace situation specifically. Mitch Trubisky, Cody Whitehair, Eddie Jackson, and Tariq Cohen as a returner. Those are the Pro Bowl seasons that Ryan Pace has drafted since 2015. Eddie Goldman, Cody Whitehair, Deion Bush, DeAndre Houston Carson, Tariq Cohen, Eddie Jackson. Those are the only guys he's drafted since 2015 that have made it to their second deals with the team. The Bears currently have the oldest roster in the NFL, and we have 5 total picks in the 2022 draft. We have 32 guys under contract and $42 million in space. Should Ryan Pace get credit for Justin Fields? Sure. But he has wasted so much draft capital, spent so much money in free agency to cover for his faults, and today we witnessed a bad offensive line, a bad wide receiver core, and a bad secondary with an awful coach that he hired, again, that cost us a victory.
Thank you, Cars. Otis, that's from Cars, not from me. I'm more fire and brimstone. And
X's and O's is not over.
X's and O's continues to go, Frank. So
let's
sorry.
go, Claudio.
Frankie's the new Claudio. We keep going and we keep breaking down tape. That's what we do. We just look back at some of the, who's a free agent. Who's a free agent? Angelo Blackson was a good free agent signing. We broke him down to the T in saying that this was going to happen. That's
Carrie.
That was a good thing.
I'm not defending those signings. I'm not sure if you're not understanding what I just said.
Everyone you've mentioned has not been productive over what they're paid. Yeah, exactly.
That's
what
point.
He's. That's his
what
point.
That's
what he's trying to show
Ryan
you.
Pace.
He's trying to show you that even though there's been blips, and if you go on any team, the Jets have some great signings in the middle rounds. The Houston Texans have some great signings. There's always a GM that's hitting. It's when they matter most. The Mitch Trubisky, Mike Glennon moment. The Matt Nagy is the Pace.
And everybody's favorite Chris Ballard, they are out of the playoffs. Without Ballard, a first-round pick.
Colts lost.
Yeah.
Wow. To the Jaguars.
Without a first-round pick that they invested into.
They lost.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
So that just shows you, I mean, there was a point during this season where everybody was praising Ballard and everything that he touches turns to gold. But that just shows you how fickle the NFL is and how crazy things can change in a handful of weeks, in a handful of snaps, actually. And it's just, it's time, man. The Bears they're going to probably repeat this process, Phil. If you look back to when they drafted Mitch going into that season, they had John Fox. Everybody at that point was like, you're going to go quarterback. We all fucking knew it. Bring in a fucking fresh head coach that's going to match up with that quarterback from Jump Street. The Bears are doing the same thing because they thought that Matt Nagy, and I was part of that too. Hey, maybe giving him his guy at quarterback will make a difference. Maybe that was the last morsel of hope that you had. But now you go this entire year, and it's been, I mean, we've spoken on it, Phil. You've talked about it for 4 years. No competition. You heard Matt Nagy himself say our projection for this season was for Andy Dalton to start all 17 games. Our projection. When he says that, he's not talking about Bill Lazor. He's not talking about Sean Desai. He's talking about two people. He's talking about Ryan Pace and he's talking about Matt Nagy himself. Those two thought it was the best thing for Andy Dalton to start all 17 games. You shot yourself in the foot from Jump Street by not getting this kid reps in the beginning. And now that the season's over, as much as I wanted to see Justin Fields the last 2 weeks, now that the season is over, I'm you know what Darnell Mooney just said? They asked him about his offseason. He said, my offseason starts tomorrow morning. Justin and I have already set it up. We start work tomorrow. Guess where Eddie Jackson will be draped across the hood of his Bentley making a fucking video. Allen Robinson's going to be cleaning the fucking mirror in his girlfriend's fucking apartment so there's not a smudge on it. That's the fucking culture. Your culture sucks. We know that. It's time to flush the fucking toilet and get rid of all three of these clowns. You can't change ownership unless they fucking happen to sell when they want to. I'm telling you, even if they fucking fire Ryan Pace and they fire Matt Nagy tomorrow, we will be happy. But if they fucking come out and there's two people at that press conference being George McCaskey and Ted Phillips, then guess what, guys? Nothing is changing. Nothing other than the fucking names of the people that are in power at head coach and general manager. Ted Phillips should be nowhere near the fucking podium after this season. There shouldn't be any connection to Ted Phillips up there in a after season press conference. None. But this is the Bears. He makes them money, and that's number one to them. That's number two to them, and that's number three to them. The fans are about 819th on that list. Let's be honest. The Bears are focused on one thing. They want to move the meter with a head coach hiring. Yes. They want their mind frame is Arlington Heights. Get that settled. Number one by a fucking country mile. That's their focus. Is it in the right spot? Is their focus in the right spot right now? I don't feel that it is. And do I expect them to whiff on this? I want, with every fiber of who I am, want to think that they will get this right, Phil. And at the end of the fucking day, you know what's going to happen? You and I are going to sit here. Cherie's going to be talking to us, and Jackal and Caden and everybody, Cars, everybody that on the show. And we're going to be like, you know what? The name's fucking changed, but the fucking clown show is still driving down the fucking road. And all they did was change the name. They put a fucking blue nose on the fucking clown and took the red nose off. That's not changing. It's still a fucking clown show. Do you have the utmost confidence, Phil, that they're going to make the right moves here?
No, because they've never done that.
Right.
The right move is Jim Harbaugh. That's the right move.
I agree. Like Rami Mirza says, who do I think? Right now, the way that I feel about this organization, Leslie Frazier is going to be the fucking guy that they pick, and they'll do it backwards. They'll hire Leslie Frazier as head coach. What GM do you want to work? Oh, you want to work with Dodds out of Indy? We'll go get your guy. They'll do it backwards. That's the way that they fucking work.
The right way to do it is show Jim the money. Bring Harbaugh home. Former Bear. Great head coach. Maniacal. He's won 44-19 in the NFL. 3 NFC championships. Has 4-0 against the Packers. He has developed offenses around his talent. He would do things with Justin Fields you couldn't think or believe that it could be done. He would take Jenkins and Borum and build them into men. He would understand Mr. like going to the dentist Montgomery. I mean, Mustafa. You got to get stronger. I like you. I think you got a potential. You got to get strong. These things that make these McCaskies and everybody uncomfortable is what they need. Allen Robinson, Perry, Commodore Jr. is good, bro. He ain't playing good now. He's playing like a pussy. That's the truth. That's the difference. Can you think that David Montgomery, he's kidding me? He'd get fucking 20 carries probably in a half. 4th and 1. You think he's in the shotgun? Empty? Oh, my.
Do I think it's a good question to bring Fangio back? Listen, I understand the infatuation with Vic Fangio, and it's going to get respectability. If you rewind this show back to when Vic Fangio was gone, Phil and I talking, that we had a lot of questions about Vic Fangio, the way that do you remember the fucking picket fence defense? Do you remember that? Lining up everybody on the fucking goal line?
Yeah.
You're not going to get
the
in
game picket fence where
but was he as aggressive as I want as a defensive coordinator? No. Am I going to be totally crushed if Vic Fangio is not the defensive coordinator of the Bears? No. I'm not going to be crushed. Would I be excited if it meant that Jim Harbaugh was the head coach? Yeah, I'd sign up for that right now. But Phil, former coworker that Lauren Cox, we used to be on a show together, all of us at one point, tweeted this out, and this puts a ribbon on it right here. The Chicago Bears were up on the Minnesota Vikings 14-3 at halftime. Coming out of the second half, Matt Nagy ran the ball 9 times, threw the ball 26 times. The Chicago Bears lost 31-17.
Ryan and Matt are men of character. They are both, like Ted, outstanding leaders. I've been most impressed with how well they collaborate.
Well, that's the problem. Allen Robinson is a problem. Eddie Jackson is a problem. Tariq Cohen is a problem because they play in a culture like Josh Bellamy where anything goes. Be you. Dance. You're 1-7. You finally win a game. Let's fucking club dub. There's a tip ball in the air. Allen Robinson, if he had any pride, runs over there, bats
if you're
it
an
down.
Allen Robinson fan,
please,
we'll put that fucking clip up for you, and that will.
I could make a whole highlight reel of Allen Robinson not giving a fuck. You think that's fun? That's not what you sign on for. That's the culture. That's the creature that you've developed here. The culture sucks. Those guys that love him, yeah, they love him because they got no rules. They love him. There's no accountability. These are the things that you have to understand, that a coach's job, Pete Carroll, Bill Belichick on down, any coach that you could put doesn't do club dub after a 6-game losing streak. Never heard of that in my fucking life. I like men of character, conviction, collaborate. Of course we collaborate, but at the end of the day, the head coach decides. This is what we're doing on 4th down. This is what we're doing in this critical situation. Matt Nagy has never been a head coach, not on any level. I have more head coaching experience than he does. He became the head coach of the Chicago Bears under one Ryan Pace, George McCaskey, and Ted Phillips. Harbaugh comes in here. There's no Ted Phillips and George presser. There's George coming out there saying, here's your new head coach, guys. Jim Harbaugh. Jim, here. There's no Ryan and Matt are, let me read this again. Oh, they're great leaders like Ted. Like Ted. There's no defending what I see on tape. There's no defending what I've seen on fucking tape. Hit the like button. There's 887 of you watching here live. Not 236. That's just on Facebook. Or one of our YouTube channels. Hit the like button. Smash it. Let everybody else know where to go for the truth.
And head over to the tapeneverlies.com.
TapeNeverLies.com.
You think the rants are good now? You should see what the fucking patrons get when we get fired up.
I want to bring a patron on sometimes and ask them. I not just any pay. I want somebody that's like, fucking, this is what you get when you get there. This is what you get. Have some fucking pride.
We have a patron
Have some
right
fucking
here.
truth.
There's one.
Oh my God, Mickey Mouse.
Breaking down the fucking tape for you to see the truth. This is how we know. Where's Ryan Pace? Perry, you're fucking talking about Allen Robinson. He's gone. I was the biggest Allen Robinson fan. The Bears banked on Allen Robinson coming off an injury. The guy is a consummate professional. Then Allen became selfish. Started worrying about his contract. Pretending that it didn't matter, but it did. And it showed in blocking. It showed in effort. And this season, it showed that he's become nothing but a curl route, out route, and that's it, possession receiver. So get off the fucking Allen Robinson train. $18 million for that fucking piece of shit. Play, effort, and energy every Sunday. I would tell Allen to his fucking face right here. I don't give a fuck who my coach is. I'm going out there, and if my job is to get to the safety and block him, I better get to the fucking safety and block him. Is Darnell Mooney, George, walking? Is Darnell Mooney not blocking? He's fucking 178 pounds soaking wet. If he's doing it.
And he's one of the best blockers on the entire fucking roster.
On the entire roster. He's a better fullback than fucking JP Holtz. How does that happen?
Big plays are nice.
Performance over politics. We got a fucking swag shop. You want to rock swag and gear? We got a swag shop where you can rock the swag, rock the gear. Do that. Don't buy Chicago Bears shit. Right here's the story of Ryan Pace, Matt Nagy. See the guy above me right here? That's an elite runner. 90% of America doesn't know him. I'll say 80% to be safe. That's neglect. See that guy over there on the other side of the screen up on the top? Robert Quinn? Every fucking network, every fucking blog boy, every fucking person that writes for the Chicago Bears was calling him a bust except this network. That is the truth. You can ask any patron how many times I went to bat for Khalil
Phil,
Mack, Robert Quinn.
You can sign up and go watch the fucking tape from last year.
Yeah, go
there.
Sign up now. Try it out for $7 and go back to last year with me showing you this guy's playing injured, but look at his effort. I had two former Bear players telling me there's two guys that shouldn't even be fucking playing. It's Khalil Mack and Robert Quinn. They're playing hurt. It motivates everybody else in the locker room. And they still fucking went out there and played. We're the first ones to tell you, and people hate this. I don't need to hear you say. You have to hear me say it because everybody steals from Shane and myself and this network. And then they say they said it. We've been saying this for years. I was the first one that said Olin Kreutz to be president. I was the one telling you about David Montgomery. I was the one telling you Charles Leno's a piece of shit. Matt Nagy's a shoe salesman. This is what we do. Right now, I'm telling you, Ryan Pace is a big problem. How they handle that is the showcase of the direction. I'm telling you, you want to know? You want to know? I'm going to do a whole show, patron show on Ryan Pace. Boom. If he's not fired, it becomes even more must-see TV. because we're going to go through a fucking fine-tooth comb right through all of the bullshit. Akeem Hicks, his best signing, we'll talk about it. Is he how is he treating Akeem right now? It's another question.
So here's another good one, Phil. Adam Hogue tweeted out, the Bears are 1 for 5 on 4th downs today with 3 sacks allowed and a pick 6. The one successful conversion was
David Montgomery, first down.
And David Montgomery on the season is 3 for 4 on 4th and 1s.
And 3 for 4 on 4th and 1s. 3 for 4, Andrew Danahy, on 4th and 1s. But let's not go to that. Let's not self-scout. Let's not put the identity, as I call him. Yep. Right here. Right, Matt Byer? Right, Matt? The identity, I call him. Right, Toby Hill? I'm going to fucking take a victory lap because I bust our asses. George Berlissimo, I put his ass to work. Cut me the fucking tape. Show the tape.
Brad Biggs just sent out a tweet.
Who did?
Matt Nagy and Ryan Pace, the 2 final staff members to leave U.S. Bank Stadium, they walked out together.
Oh, my God. They walk out with Eddie Jackson with them, please.
No.
Pushing them in the stroller.
Somebody pulling their luggage. That could be Matt's, though. Maybe they're not going to let him on the team plane. I'm not sure, but.
Right here, look at this guy, Mike McKee. A post you made of Monty last year is what led me to TTNL. Well, I'm so glad. Listen, I love you fans, but I get so agitated and aggravated with the likes of these blog boys. There's no accountability for how they cover their asses and insiders, phony fucking, I heard a source and another source and a source from this and this, that. Don't believe none of that shit. I'm going to break it down. I'm not going to agree with Shane or Cars or Berlissimo or my dad on everything. But on the one thing we all stand, we all know this needs to be a house cleaning. There has to be an attitude adjustment. A leader of men is what Chicago needs. I don't give a fuck if he's not yelling on the sideline. That's not what I'm talking. I'm talking about being completely and utterly involved in the game because they know how to be a head coach. They know that Javon Wims' ass swinging on somebody is me running on the field, grabbing him by the jersey and yelling and get to the fucking sideline. Anthony Miller has no fucking place on my team. Eddie Jackson would be in my office if he's on our media video shown out to the fucking world and fan base talking about tackling doesn't matter. And then to have him go out there and miss as many tackles as he did. Well, poor Eddie. He tries hard. And these blog boys trying to say the resurgence of this defense. The resurgence of the defense comes from the Giants and the fucking Lions, you dick boys. The resurgence comes from Eddie. Please.
While veteran safety Eddie Jackson pushes them to mimic his ball hawking mentality.
What separates you? You gonna make a tackle or you gonna get the football? Come on, bro. Everybody can tackle. Dude, what's gonna separate you, bro? You still fight for a spot. 1 million people get tackled. Everybody can't get the ball.
1 million people could tackle, except Eddie. Thank you, Mike. I honestly, I'm not tolerating it no more. I'm not tolerating this bullshit. That's what we do on dumbest tweets of the week that Shane pulls up because they're the dumbest fucking takes and people are still fucking liking and sharing them. Go watch this shit. Have you seen the movie, Shane? Look Up yet?
Yeah. Yep. Have.
That is the fucking Chicago Bears right there, if there ever was. That fucking woman is the president and her fucking son. That is Virginia and Ted and George. It's not there. It's not. That doesn't work for our numbers. Our fans we need collaboration. We need to find this Harvard School of Learning. We're gonna trick everybody and get Mitch Trubisky instead of Deshaun Watson, Mahomes. We're gonna walk out into the sunset, and all of these fucking Bear fans are still gonna show up to the game. You know why? They got us. They got us. It's the greatest game in the world. It is. Football is the great. There's no fucking way I can't watch the Bears in football. And then you got the greatest uniform, the colors. These motherfuckers lucked into the colors. They got me in Connecticut when I'm fucking 5 years old because of number 34, Walter Payton. Now I'm hooked like fucking a fiend. I coached the high school. I coached here, scouted. I do football, right? But the Chicago Bears, I've set a priority calendar, time. My wife knows. Before we even got married, we had a fucking wedding with each table was a Chicago Bear player. That was the number of your guest where you sat. At Hallis's table, number 7, the bride and groom, Walter Payton, 34. If Shane could have came and been at 51, Butkus' table, or are you at fucking Chris Zoric's table or Urlacher's table? Now we have former Bear, my boy Eric Cramer. I grew up loving this guy. Now he's a part. I'm talking to him daily because I love this guy. I work with Chris Zorich. I grew up loving that guy. This is what this network is, the truth. Chris is probably watching right now, smoking a fucking cigar, drinking some whiskey, and Phil is fucking crazy. I am crazy. Chris doesn't believe it ain't gonna change. We gotta do something. Steve Edward, my boy, the teddy bear, off the field, on the field, a maniac. He texted me, Phil, they got a clean house. I'm just afraid they won't. I want to put positive energy out into the universe. It's got to happen. Get Jim Harbaugh. At least go down swinging, Rocky. Don't fall down like Andy Dalton, looking like a fucking pussy. You kidding me? All I saw was my son's eyes like, oh my God, my father rolling over. Like, what is he doing? What is he doing?
You didn't like him trying to stiff arm Dalvin Tomlinson
Shane,
today?
The first time was enough for me. It happened 3 times. You can't make it up. The 4th time he throws a pick 6.
Yeah.
The 4th time he just throws it up into the universe. Oh my God. And you fans, honestly, that love this network, that stand for this network, I promise you. I know I'm angry. I'm just your voice right now. I'm fired up. I'm fired up because I am not gonna fall into that cavernous, shitty grave of doubt. I need this to be changed. They watch. Players are watching our show. Yes. Trust me. They laugh or giggle. They cry. They laugh. Whatever. The McCaskies are watching. Maybe it ain't Ted right now. And maybe it ain't whatever. But they're hearing. And I got to tell you, it's got to get done. You have to pay. You have to pay. You have to go off. You can't let the Raiders take your fucking former quarterback. His idol is Ditka, who he fucking had sideline fisticuffs almost with, who's turned around Michigan, who fucking made Stanford relevant, who made the 49ers out of their fucking doldrums since Bill Walsh. Look at what the 49ers did until he came there. Who maybe will bring Vic. But I don't give a fuck if he does or not. He needs to be here because he understands the city and guys like me, guys like you that live and die with this football team. I just want to go down swinging. I'm tired of looking like a bunch of pussies, as my dad said. in X's with the O's. If that offends you, I'm sorry. This is what we do here on this network. Call it like it is.
Here's some of Cap's post-game show with Alex Brown talking on some stuff.
Well, somebody got to hire him. Somebody has to hire the next person.
And that guy's failed miserably, Alex.
But it's going to be the McCaskey. If they fire everybody underneath ownership,
right,
they have to hire them. They got to hire the person they're going to bring in.
No, what they need to do.
Somebody got to hire them.
Whoever those people are, any of you, former players, intelligent guys in the NFL, Tony Dungy, Ozzie, they got to sit people in a room and go, you know what? I suck as an owner. I may make money, but guess what? In hiring people, I'm the worst.
Cap, none of us going to be working for the Bears because they don't offer enough money.
It's funny though.
There you go.
Listen, again, I was before Cap in this. That guy over there in the corner, I think Olin will ask the tough questions. He better reach out to me to get some tough answers too. That's all I'm saying to you, Olin. But the reality, in all jokes aside, is that football people need to be had, not football antiques. Does everyone understand the difference? An antique is somebody who doesn't give a fuck and they've passed their prime. That's Ernie Accorsi. Bill Polian. I don't think I want Bill Polian pulling the old boys network. I don't want that shit. I want someone in here that's going to put a priority on victories for the Chicago Bears. This more so now than ever before in the history of the Chicago Bears. It is the most important hire ever. Ever. Because you are so goddamn bad. There's no way Nagy stays. But in all reality, somebody has to. Listen, Alex is saying what we've been saying for months. Ted Phillips is in charge of it. You're gonna depend on Ryan Pace, who doubled down. That's where we're at. That's where we're at. Listen. Hire fucking me and Shane. Bring us in.
Can't do any worse.
Remember Moneyball? You go outside the fucking circle of trust, Gaylord fucker. Go outside the circle of trust, Teddy and Georgie boy. Do something different. Go speak to some people that this actually fucking matters beyond you. And that's the real way we should end this show. Because and I'm speaking to George McCaskey, your mom took away this position from your brother Michael, who, God rest his soul, who's passed on, and gave the opportunity to you. Shane gave the numbers of your record under you as the chairman of the Chicago Bears. You've done nothing. Nothing. So here we are on the next level of your flop. Are you going to use every avenue to change? That means to find the people that will live and die with this organization. Because, George, I don't think you do. You have shown us you don't care enough. If you're motivated because your mom's pissed, how about you get fucking pissed off? How about George McCaskey's pissed off? You're the highest up. Your mom's 99. We don't even know if she knows if she's eating fucking Frosted Flakes or Skittles. You're the guy.
Good? Her teeth ain't that good for Skittles, bro.
You're the guy, George. Does this matter to you, George? Fuck everybody else. Does this matter to you? I will put my name in there. I will put Shane's name. I will put people that care about the Chicago Bears' future more so than just making money. Because guess what? Last point. When you fucking win, you make more money than you do when you lose.
Oh, a lot more.
A lot more. All of a sudden, every Bear fan on the block is a Bears fan again.
Yeah. Just hosting a playoff game.
Exactly.
Crazy.
So the reality, and some of you have said this all the time throughout your life, but McCaskies don't care. George fucking care. Show us you care tomorrow. Don't give me shit about your mom. Your mom's in my business. She's in my business. Can't you see? Your mom is trying to end this. K Solo. I'm quoting fucking K Solo, Cherie, on BHL. This is the problem, George. You. Hold on. I'm on the phone with the Steelers. I'm on the phone with the Giants. I'm on the phone with the Jags. Hey, Jerry Jones, what do you think we should do? That's the fucking problem. Get it right, George. Find those resources that care. I already know that Olin cares. He's checked that box for me. You might not like him, and you're not going to like what you hear, but it's going to be addressed. And if he can't do that, you go to Jim Harbaugh because he does care, and he would be the guy that would fix this. And we're going to be breaking down all of this stuff live. Once again, become a patron. TapeNeverLies.com. We're going to be going live, pop-up shows on all of the moves, the firing, reacting to it, all of it there. We won't be on our regular channel. We'll be only on the Patreon. Asking you to go over there, check it out. If you've never signed up, you've been waiting and dragging your ass, I don't know what you're waiting for, because this is going to be the be-all, tell-all of the Chicago Bears now. My wife says, football never ends. It doesn't. This is where it's in. This is where it's in right now. This is the biggest moment. Guess what? Why is it the biggest moment, Shane? Because number one, right above me, right here. How does he become the next great quarterback in the NFL? It's right now. Is Pace staying? Is he going? We know Nagy's gone. Now we're going to find out the rest of it. We're going to be reacting to it, breaking down. We're going to give you names that you didn't even think of that could possibly be a head coach. There might be a name out there that I didn't even think of that could be a part of this. Shane had thrown out D'Amico Ryans, former middle linebacker for the Houston Texans, who's now becoming a hot name. That could be the guy that the Mike Tomlin of the future. I don't know. But I'm certainly going to make every
very interesting news, Phil, talking about a current player that everybody loves. Akeem Hicks was officially ruled out of Sunday's game against the Vikings because of an injured ankle, but there's much more to it. According to a source, Akeem Hicks had a dispute with defensive line coach Chris Rumpf during and again after the game against the Giants at Soldier Field. It was characterized as heated and very ugly. Coaches, teammates, and staff members witnessed the exchange. Hicks agent Drew Rosenhaus did not return an email request for comment. The Bears also declined to comment. Not only did Hicks not practice last week, but he wasn't at Hallis Hall at all. Hicks also didn't travel with the team to Minneapolis for Sunday's season finale against the Vikings, a 31-7 loss. It's been an interesting and frustrating season for Hicks. The 32-year-old is in the final year of his contract, and he had hoped to get an extension before this season. His agents visited Hallis Hall multiple times. A new deal never came. Only more injuries once the real games began. There's no update. No update.
Listen.
No update.
Akeem Hicks hates Dalvin Cook. Akeem Hicks has destroyed the Vikings. Akeem Hicks probably would have won this game today. I'm dead serious, Shane. He's that dominant a player. In fact, guess what? Another point I want to make before this season of Bears Hour Live ends. A head coach names captains one time. One. I don't give a fuck if you're a blog boy. Write the story and quote me directly. A real head coach names his captains because you've gone through war and you see who the real leaders of men are. And they become your consigliere towards the team because they can speak for you and set the tone of where you're going to go. I don't know if you caught this or what have you yesterday watching the Philadelphia Eagles, but they showed a halftime speech of Kelsey speaking to his team. That's a captain. That's a leader. Football is about respect.
You don't think Mustapher's doing that?
No. I'm a big Akeem Hicks fan. Every time I've seen this guy perform, he plays with passion and pride. In fact, it's very rarely, and I've caught him a couple times, loafing. But that's a part of the game. This is a captain fighting with your team. And when Nagy was asked about him on Tuesday or Wednesday, his question towards Roquan Smith was so glowing. His questions or Akeem Hicks was so shallow. My father, Berlissimo, and I talked about that on the Patreon X's with the O's this past week. How is Akeem Hicks shut down? Now we know. Because there's no accountability. There's no truth being told. They hid this story. They hid the truth. And that's what they continue to do. Shane, your final thoughts.
Right there. Says it all.
Go.
Says it all in lights in Chicago.
There you go. There you go. That's your final thought? You have anything?
No. It's go over to Patreon, sign up, ttnlnetwork.com. We're going to have it all covered, Phil. Like I said, you and I both removed ourselves from our day jobs so we can cover this like nobody else. The roller coaster ride begins today. You know, you leave hopefully a couple of the asshole kids that won't leave you alone on the ground level because they're not tall enough to ride the ride with you. And then we go have some fun and we figure this shit out. But do I have confidence the Bears are going to do the right thing? They've just shit in my soup too many times for me to stick my spoon in and eat it. So we'll see.
There you go. My final thoughts are this. Again, I've said it all. I even quoted K Solo today. I'm proud of myself. And I've gone KRS-One and K Solo in a BHL. The last one of 2000. Well, technically, we'll be back next year. So the last one of this past season. I'll say that in truth. But I'll say this one more time. As I wrap up this show and this network, I take a lot of pride in having the pressure to speak for the fan that loves this football team. You, the fan that tunes in every week for my rant. You, the fan that looks for TTNL and the breakdown and analysis and the truth. Performance over politics. That is the truth. And until the Chicago Bears find the performer as the coach, they are going to continue to fail and show in mediocrity. So as I ask one more time to George McCaskey, stop allowing the rest of this fans of the NFL to think you're a joke. Own it. Own that you're bad. Own that you need help. Look up. Look up at that skyline. Look up and see the scoreboard. Stop looking down. Stop looking down on the fan. End of the Matt Nagy era should be the end of the Pace era. Stop collaborating. Start dominating. For Shane Marsaw, I'm your guy, Draft Dr. Phil. Please do us a favor. Try the Patreon. See what you think. Embrace this Next week we
Put
will
your phone
see.
up to the screen. Scan that little box right there.
There,
Take you
he
right
even
there.
put the little box there. Look, look at Ron G with Matt Nagy pointing at the box. Like, go there.
That's all, folks.
I was looking for this.
Very good, guys. Have a beautiful day. I know I will.
Thank you for watching Bears Hour Live, the best post-Bears game show on the planet, on the Tape Never Lies Network.
That's it. Can you play that? That's all, folks, as we go on, or no?
Sure, let her rip.
Go ahead.